St. Cloud State's Husky Stadium for the State Class AA Boys Soccer Tournament, a quarterfinal matchup here in Class AA as the top seed, the Edina Hornets, take on the Maple Grove Crimson. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Sig Ligry. And Sig, Maple Grove coming through with a win on the road at Brainerd to win the Section 8 championship. They're a team that's gotten stronger as the season has gone on, but they did not get an easy draw here in the quarters.
No, they got the number one team in the state, 19-0. They've scored, if I added up correctly, 62 goals and given up 12. So they have a monster challenge ahead of them. But from past history, we know what Greg Leininger and his coaching staff is capable. A few years ago, it was the same situation when they were unseeded playing against a team that was, they were bragging that they were the fastest, best scoring team in the state, while Maple Grove came up and surprised them, got a quick 2 goals on them, and they never recovered. So it can happen. Last night we had a similar situation where the unseeded team took on the number one girls team and gave them all kinds of fits. So you never know what's going to happen. The guys are going to have to play their best game to beat Edina, but they can do it. Edina just has to play their game. They've been scoring well lately. They breezed through their sections. It's a solid, good team.
Yeah, Edina certainly had a good program over the years, but this has got to be right up there with one of the best teams they've had. When you look at the schedule they play and the section they're in, to consider the scores that they've put up, I mean, they've kind of got good balance. They've got a couple all-state players spread out throughout the lineup, including in goal. I don't think it's a stretch to call them the favorite in this tournament, but At the same time, like you said, they do have to come out and play, and playoff time, anything can happen.
Yeah, we've seen that so many times. You're right. The number one team sometimes can get a little bit overconfident, and you come up against a team that has nothing to lose. That can be very, very dangerous. But look for Edina to keep their composure. I don't think they're going to fall apart. I think they're too seasoned. They're too well coached and structured for that, but you never know.
Let's look at key players in today's game, starting with the Crimson and a guy who's really been a rock for them at the defensive end, but he's also chipped in offensively here in the playoffs a couple of times off set pieces, Caleb Robinson.
That's a guy we've seen before this season. I love the way this guy plays. Good defender, but he also comes up from the midfield position and goes down, and he's a formidable player with the headers because he's so tall and he's very aggressive. So he can be a dangerous player for Edina to deal with.
And for the Hornets, they've got a player that's an all-metro type player for them, an all-state type player for them, and Will Swenga.
Swenga's got the midfield locked up. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to place the ball. Very good at reading the defense. That's how he gets the recognition that he has earned. Good at seeing the defense, and I would imagine him and Robinson are going to exchange a few intricate meetings during this match.
Maple Grove girls are already into the semifinals. The boys will try and pull off an upset here. Edina looking to maintain its pace as the top seed coming into the tournament and looking to stay undefeated. The Crimson and the Hornets do battle next year in St. Cloud on CCX Sports.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother. You, your boss, your boss's boss. You, your barber, your barber's barber.
Nice work. Thanks.
Or you, your co-pilot, your co-pilot's co-pilot. With early diagnosis, pre-diabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Welcome back here to St. Cloud State as we get set for battle here along the shores of the Mississippi as Edina and Maple Grove getting set to tango for the first time this year. The Crimson in white and Edina as the high seed in their home green jerseys. And you get a look at the weather. I don't think we've been up here for a game when it has been beautiful, I would say. not quite as windy, certainly, as you and John Jacobson saw in the girls' quarterfinals, though. I think that will be something that makes this a lot better. Temperature's not great, but it doesn't sound as though we're probably likely to see precipitation, and then the wind is, a more manageable kind of number here tonight.
Yeah, that's the good news. It's a little chilly out there, but for the players, it's not really too bad.
Look at how things shape up for the tournament here as Edina getting that top seed, taking on Maple Grove. Eastview is the number 2 seed. They've got St. Paul Central. And then Eastridge, the 3 seed, taking on Lakeville South. And then Washburn Centennial, which should be a good one in the 4-5 matchup. So Maple Grove is one of the 3 unseeded teams. I guess you could make the case that they probably got the toughest draw of the 3, at least based on what Edina has done this year. But as I was saying earlier, you don't expect it to be easy when you get to the quarterfinal round. And Maple Grove is, I don't think anybody needs to feel sorry for them. They've been a big school, good program, and they're not going to be intimidated by playing Edina, that's for sure. Now, stopping them might be another story, but you know that they're going to come out confident.
Yeah, you're right. They're not going to be intimidated. They have confidence in their defense. They move the ball really well. Edina knows that also.
An experience edge in goal for sure for Edina with Hank Steckman. Whereas Maple Grove really on their 3rd keeper of the year, Tyler Werns. Injuries ahead of him kind of thrusting him in there, but he's done a good job when he's been called upon, and they know that he'll probably be tested some tonight.
Yeah, look for the Edina Hornets to try and give him fits. There's a look at Werns.
Crimson able to get it into Edina's end of the field here, and now trying to go on the attack. Levi Dunlop had it, lost it. Hornets able to force the quick turnover as they work their way up the right side of the field here, pushed ahead by Sammy Prestis. Prestis getting a step, now across, and nobody home on the far post. They are able to run it down, though, tracked down by Valentin Correleo.
That was a nice run down the far flank.
Chipped out front. Crimson get to it first. Now controlled their battle for it as JT House tried to turn his way out of there with it, but it'll instead go over to the Hornets on a throw-in. So Edina putting a little pressure on in the opening minute there, getting away a nice cross, but Maple Grove able to deny it here. Throw in by Jackson Hawley. Got a lot on it. Here's the header that goes just wide as Werns came out to challenge, and he got stuck a little bit. But the header wide of the mark, so it'll be a goal kick here for Maple Grove.
Edina already showing its prowess on offense.
That goal kick coming right to Edina, but knocked out of play by the Hornets. We will get a throw here as Rada throwing it in for Maple Grove, but then they cough it up immediately, and Oscar Smythe controlling here for the Hornets. And he's going to get a corner kick out of it, so Edina looking to, again, put some pressure on in the opening moments here. Here comes the corner, bounces off a defender. It'll be another corner forthcoming here for the Hornets.
That one was just a bit on the low side. Look at keeper Werns.
Correleo taking the corner again. Robinson up for it, but then the follow-up try, it bounces in front. In hindsight, they might have been better letting that one go, and it would have been a goal kick. Now it comes out front again. Robinson directing it away. And the Crimson this time able to cover up and send it long up the field here. See if they'll use the keeper, and they will, as it's dropped back there by Jordan Carter and Hank Steckman. booming it up the right side. Header there by Charlie Miller. Now Crimson working it up there left flank there, but Jordan Carter getting to it for the Hornets. Little pressure put on him. He's not going to take any chances. Brings it out wide and then plays it nicely up the line. Next pass doesn't get there though, is intercepted by House. Maple Grove trying to press the attack, but quick turnover again, and here come the Hornets. Nice ball up the right side, but that one interrupted. Hornets will get it right back. Robinson gets a piece of that. Second try now, chip to the front, and they just weren't quite on the same page there. Werns will have an easy play to come out and scoop it up here for Maple Grove, but we're already starting to see, as you saw Will Swander right there, you're starting to see Edina, how quick they can convert to offense and make chances happen.
Yeah, their transition to the counter is very good.
Maple Grove, you know, in their playoff games haven't really been forced to be, you know, on the defense all that much. They're tested, but now an opportunity up the left side here for the Hornets. Casey Ott, another of their top players. Ott trying to control that ball as he trapped it down, but then Robinson booming it out of there. House trying to come down with it, couldn't quite do so. Jackson Hawley. That ball headed out of there. Edina's got a nice combination, too, Sig, of being able to play the ball real short, but also being able to attack long, be real direct if they see an opening to do so.
Yeah, they really know how to play the flanker side, get the ball move up in either sideline.
Hawley playing it ahead here as he looks for Prestus. Prestus, a little step on the D. Now they catch up and get back. Nice job by Teddy Miller there to not overcommit and just kind of get his footwork under control and cut off the angle. But it'll be a throw for Edina.
Congratulates all the teams participating in this tournament.
Long throw in here, knocked around by a couple of guys. The ball got over the line, so it'll be a goal kick upcoming here for Maple Grove as they tried to get it into Ott. Oh, I'm sorry, it's going to be another corner.
Yep.
Last touch by the Crimson.
Third corner already. We're only 6 minutes into the match. This will be a left-footed kick.
Oscar Smythe swinging it in. Here's the header, and Werns able to smother that one. But again, Edina getting a pretty good look at things.
Yeah, and they'll remember that because when he hit that ball, look at this natural hook, or a banana ball as we call it. Right in traffic, and Werns right there to smother it. Maple Grove on the move, taken away nicely by the defense.
House's pass quickly intercepted there, and then quick throw in by the Hornets there. Matt Mason bringing it up the line. Robinson will bang it out of play, and it's a throw coming for Edina again. I think Maple Grove probably knew coming in, and if they didn't know coming in, they're finding out already that they're going to be asked to play defense more tonight than what most opponents are going to be able to make them do.
I would imagine what they want to do is play solid defense as they can.
Here's a bouncer, low bouncer that Werns able to scramble over and get to.
And then when they get an opportunity, the Crimson, we know, are capable of doing a quick strike.
Yeah, earlier in the year they were having trouble finishing. That really hasn't been the case of late. I think their confidence has grown with an ability to score some goals down the stretch of the regular season and then again in the postseason.
Yeah, I think part of that was they had goalkeeper changes.
Here's an opportunity up the left side here. Corleo looking to get some space, trying to put it out front. It was denied. Nice play then to work it on out of there. Briefly anyway by the Crimson, but then taken back. And wow, they're going to go all the way back to Steckman with this one. Header here by Maple Grove, so it'll go out of play and a throw coming here for the Hornets. No score on the board. We are about 8 minutes in. Edina has certainly controlled play in the first portion of this game. Nice job by Teddy Miller there defensively again, and it'll be out off Edina, so a throw here for Maple Grove. Here's Charlie Miller. I had a chance to talk to Charlie at practice after they qualified for the tournament. Remember, Sig, last time we saw them on TV was that quarterfinal section game when he took a ball off a teammate's foot that drilled him in the middle of the face from about 5 feet away. I mean, he said he was a little surprised that nothing more happened out of it. He got a little bloody nose, but he said other than that he was fine. So great to see that, you know, he came back and played that night, so we knew it wasn't anything terribly serious, but boy, it sure looked tough at the time, right?
Right, it looked bad because, like we said, if you get hit by number 5 soccer ball, you're going to feel it.
Steckman, the junior, will drop it down and put his foot to it here. Knocked high in the air by Henry Rose. Played long up the middle, and an opportunity. Charging out was Werns, and it is going to be a corner.
It's going to be a corner, yeah.
No, we get a push call, looks like, against Edina.
Twin Cities Toyota dealers are a proud sponsor.
As you see, it was just a little collision here.
Toyota wishes today's teams the best of luck.
Just submarine them.
Read a recap of today's tournament action.
Yeah, it's interesting that I'm not so sure that one, Corrieo didn't really do anything wrong, in my opinion, there.
No, I didn't either. I mean, he made contact with the keeper, but the keeper was sliding in underneath him.
But obviously you're going to see goalkeeper probably protected a little bit more than a field player, and I think they
benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, giving a little explanation, I think, on that play. As Swanda, one of the captains, kind of asking, and yeah, and he's saying, all right, because I think actually when Corey Leo got up, he was thinking that it was going to be a call on the keeper for stopping a scoring chance there.
But keeper was doing what he was supposed to do, go in there and make a sliding tackle if he has to.
High bouncer here as Teddy Miller waiting for it to come down. And the Hornets almost forced a turnover out of that, but knocked back toward midfield. Zaver controlling for Maple Grove, but not for long. Quick takeaway there by Ott. Robinson up for the header. Hornets, though, have numbers forward here. And once again tried to spring Corleo, but it'll roll all the way instead to the keeper as Werntz will boot it out of there. Robinson getting to it there with a nice header actually to himself. Looking for Zaver. Now another header try as they get it ahead now to, they had it briefly there anyway. Turnaround try was blocked down. And that ball went out, so a goal kick upcoming. Pretty good effort, but at the same time, Edina didn't overcommit and just kind of worked with Dunlap.
Yeah, there's Steve Jensen, head coach of the Hornets. I first met Dave back in the early 1980s, of beginnings of the USA Cup. In his 36th season.
And a little push there as House was held up doing battle with Matt Mason. We will get a free kick here from Maple Grove. They have not had a lot of opportunities early in this game, certainly. Damon Humphrey will line it up here, and he's got a good left foot. See what he can do with this one.
Probably try and curl it in, and he does nicely.
And they nearly got that header set up.
Oh, that was inches away from being a shot on goal.
House went for it, couldn't quite get to it. This was almost exactly what he wanted to do with this ball, but House just got a little tangled up in the wash there.
Yeah, he was on his way down when the ball came. Excellent play.
And they're going to make him redo this goal kick because a substitution was coming. So Steckman will boot it again here for the Hornets. Now gets the go ahead. Humphrey getting a piece of that ball at midfield. Xaver coming back to meet it, then drops it back, and they'll chip it long up the middle. Good effort to win that ball by Matt Mason, but the Crimson coming right back with it. And knocked out of play. We will get a throw for Maple Grove. Jadera Anyamale will leave it off now. And it'll be Charlie Miller coming up to take it here for the Crimson. Talked with Greg Leininger a little bit heading into the tournament, and he talked about, their depth. He said we've usually by this time you have the rotation trimmed down to, maybe 14 guys or so, but he said we got so many guys that are, relatively equal in ability that we've continued to use kind of a second unit a little more than usual. There's a header that is snared by Steckman.
It's nice to have that opportunity to have that many good players available.
Yeah, and it also gets them, obviously you're thinking, there's a look at Greg. We're obviously thinking first and foremost about this season, but it also, when you get some younger guys, some good quality minutes, it kind of stretches into the next seasons as well. And just too far to run to get to that one before it rolls out, so a goal kick upcoming here for Maple Grove.
That does make a difference in the future. We were talking to Greg earlier in the season. He said they have so many quality players playing on JV that they can afford to bring those up. Co-captains there.
Played to the outside here as the Hornets look to attack with Prestis. Oscar Smythe putting it out front. That one denied. Jordan Carter with the header. Now they'll flick it back to Mason. Something you notice with the Hornets and with the, most of the best teams too is they're playing fast but not hurried. Everybody right. they have an idea where they're going to go with the ball as soon as they get it, but at the same time not just randomly kicking it. You can look like you're playing fast but not have a good idea what to do with it.
Right, they're moving the ball with good passing, and the receivers are obviously in the right position. There's a nice handoff here, another handoff, a return pass. This is really good play.
Nice step up, though, to break that one up as Correio waited a little too long to do something with it, perhaps there. Ooh, and that
almost.
Franz nearly had a one-on-one chance against the keeper there. Good poise by Carter. Almost too confident with the ball, though, as he waited a little long. Now he steps up to break that one up, and once again, they're going to play Steckman here.
So obviously anything back in the back 15, 20 yard area, they're going to bring it back to Steckman, and he's going to bring the ball up for them.
Sent up there looking for Casey Ott. Crimson able to force the turnover, and now playing it to Franz. Chipping it long up the middle. Carter got there first, but Xaver there had it, lost it. And Ott drilling it high and long here for the Hornets. Prestis trying to run to it. Crimson had to play it out. We'll get a throw coming for Edina. We approach 23 minutes to go in this first half. No score on the board. Edina has had the better of the play for sure, although I think it's evened up a little bit over the last 10 minutes. Maple Grove started to do some things of their own.
Yeah, I think the first 6-7 minutes, Edina was dominating the play, moving the ball at will. And then after that, Maple Grove came back, started taking charge of the ball and getting moves of their own and some good opportunities on the other end.
Carter keeping it low on the ground here, and a nice spin move by Ott. He'll go out to the outside, and now the Hornets with a little bit of an opportunity here. Nice sliding tackle, however it gets out, and it will be a corner. Miller going after it aggressively.
It's going to be a
McDonald's Archways.
Okay, now we change. The flag didn't go down on the corner, but you're right, that's a corner.
$3,000 a year in college tuition assistance to community
Number
colleges,
4
trade schools, and four-year universities.
for the Hornets in the first half.
This time they try to come higher with it, and then Carter serving one out front. Crimson not quite out of danger yet. Ball played to the outside. Edina really, you touched on it a little bit earlier too, do a nice job of using the whole field. Sometimes teams, subconsciously maybe get kind of right-handed or left-handed where they're always going the same way, and that's not been happening. You're not really sure where they're going to attack. It might be right up the middle, or it might be to the wings, kind of whatever's there. And there's Werns diving out to intercept that crossing pass.
Werns doing a good job that time, reading the pass coming, and got up there and
that's when it ultimately doesn't look like that hard of a play, but if he waits too long, then he's in trouble.
Yep.
So he did time that one very well.
Yeah, and if you miss, boy, you're really in trouble.
That's where I think the keepers got to be thrilled that it's dry weather here tonight. As the cold you can deal with,
right?
But if the nights when it gets slick, that's when you start to worry a little bit, and you kind of second guess yourself on being overly cautious with your hands and that type of thing. So they shouldn't have to worry about that.
No, but they do have to worry about the cold, and if you're a keeper who's not seeing any action, you tend to get a little bit stiff.
And that may be part of the reason that Steckman really wanted to be so involved in taking those passes back, to get some touches on the ball, even if it's, with the feet rather than playing it in terms of making saves.
Yeah, that could be.
I think it's probably just the way they generally do things. And
yeah, I think that's part of their strategies for the defense to play off whatever the keeper tells them to do.
Beautiful takeaway there by Humphrey.
Nice move down the sideline, gets it up, but there's a green shirt in the way.
Franz trying to get that pass ahead. Connor Fournier, but broken up. Here's another look at this one.
Wow, what a nice poke check that was. And here's a turnaround, little spin move.
Oops, and that'll be a foul call going against Miller of Maple Grove. So a free kick coming up for the Hornets here as we've passed the halfway point of this first half, and no score on the board. No great chances, but some chances in the first half for Edina. Nothing really yet for Maple Grove, but as we said, the play has evened out a little bit more after Edina really dominated early. And to the front there, it's Robinson getting there first.
Yeah, that's a good point. We haven't seen a lot of quality shots. We've seen some shots from the outside and some crosses that didn't connect, but there was one shot that came in on Werns that he had to bring in, but it didn't have that much on it. There's a good look at number 8, Robinson. We've seen him before, tall guy. Very skilled, very fast, and you can plan on him coming up to the front if there's a corner or a free kick where he can get in there for the header.
Yeah, and we're seeing it just in this first half even how many balls he's able to get to with the header. He's in the right place too. I mean, obviously he's got some skill and some size, but it's got to be more than that if he keeps finding the ball or the ball keeps finding him.
Yeah, but he's reading the play quite well. We've seen him do that. We've covered the Crimson before, and I was really impressed with the way he stays back there, stays his ground, knows what's happening, and knows how to react.
And he's one of the guys that was playing pretty regularly when they were in the tournament 2 years ago. So as a sophomore, he was already out there getting some minutes.
A seasoned veteran, is that what?
Yeah, that's for sure. Popped high in the air here as the Hornets tried to clear it. Couple of headers there, and it's going to bounce back. Oh, we got an Edina player shaken up briefly, but he pops back up. That was Swanda.
Well, they don't want Swanda to be injured.
Chipped high to the front there. Header by Mason. Oops, they didn't hit that one the way they wanted to, and some pressure put on Fournier trying to force a turnover, but again, good composure in the back by Edina.
Oh, what a nice jumping header. Get the ball back into the offensive zone, but Edina's right there to pick it off.
And then we'll get a foul call going against Xaver. So a free kick here for the Hornets.
And with the wind at the back, and Steckman with a big foot gets it way downfield.
There's Robinson with the header, but then another one back the other direction. Corleo dropping it back there to Mason. Nice little move there by Ott in traffic. Now drops the pass off. And a double team physical tackle there. Call will go against the Crimson.
Yep.
And Smythe was taken down.
Proud sponsor of the Minnesota State High School
They
League.
did a little sandwich job on him.
League sponsor tournaments, high school and
Yeah, nice
colleges.
little pass there, and Miller and I can see it again now. Look at that again. Robinson came in pretty hard, leading with kind of the hip.
Clinics throughout
Yeah, little sandwich job.
So free kick here for Edina.
Only 25 yards out. Golden opportunity here. And that's a direct kick, so he can go. If he goes in, it does count.
Here's the shot. Oh, and Werns just getting his hands on that one.
Oh my!
Wow, they went low with it toward the corner, and it looked like that one had eyes to maybe go in. But Werns able to lunge out and get to it.
Look at this. Just gets his mitts on it and then gets up quickly to scoop it in.
Well, and we were talking to the Crimson coaches at training before the state tournament, and he talked about how, Werntz, the young guy that came in just kind of late in the year, and that they've, really been conscious about trying to protect him. He said, but we know when we get against some of the better teams, he's going to be counted on to have to make some saves, and there was one right there.
That was a huge save.
Xaver drops the pass off. Solid defense there to force that turnover. Crimson trying hard to get it back. Now long ball up the middle. Robinson will be there first. Going to turn and go upfield with it, trying to go to front. Now Fournier dropped it, but nobody home in the middle there. Xaver did not continue toward that ball. Hornets using the right side this time.
And like I said, they're really good at using the whole field. Trying to set the cross, but nobody was there.
Now Charlie Miller getting to it here from Maple Grove. Nice step up by Adams there for the Hornets.
I thought that was a handball. Referee indicated that was against the chest. No call.
Drop back for Mason. Nice work to get to it by Ott. Now drop back again now for Mason. Nice break up there though for the Crimson, and now they look to send it long, but that one's going to get past everyone, and Steckman ranging out to grab it up. And we will get a foul call there against Maple Grove. So free kick coming for the Hornets. Swanda lining it up.
Nice deep shot. Warren's trying to gauge it in.
Header to the front, but knocked away. Hornets briefly regained it, but then knocked out of there. Oh, nice job by Mason to win that ball cleanly back. Robinson a header there to break that one up.
Offside called.
Watch this great takeaway here.
Yeah,
Wow,
nice.
that was nice.
Puts the brakes on the top of the ball and turns around, gets it. Greg Laniger watching the game. Not watching, he's coaching the game.
Knocked deep upfield. Zaver just getting a little piece of that one. Now Franz knocking it over to Will Zaver. Zaver turns and spins. Now Zaver firing the shot, and that one going just wide of the mark. I don't think Steckman got a piece of it, or did he?
No,
Goal
no.
kick.
It was a goal kick. But that's what they have to be careful. If you're Edina, because they got a great player there in Will Zaver. He's tall. He looks like he's big and slow, but he's not. He's quite quick. Yeah, I hooked it to the outside. There's number 6. Very agile player. We've seen him before. You got to watch out for him.
So goal kick here for the Hornets. First real good chance for Maple Grove right there. You know, we're obviously not to the half yet, but I would kind of think, to an extent, Maple Grove, if they were to get to half 0-0, probably feel pretty good about that, actually.
I would say that's a psychological win.
Free kick coming here for the Crimson. Bounces to the front. Crimson trying to get it back, but they were outnumbered there. It will be a throw, though, for Maple Grove, as the Hornets felt enough pressure that they ended up clearing it out of play. Chipped toward the goal, but Steckman able to come off his line and get to that one rather easily, and he sees a little room up the left side, so he'll swing it out.
Yep. I don't think Willie's going to give him a shot on that one.
Played up the line. Robinson getting there first for the Crimson, and that one will bounce out of play. Get a throw here for the Hornets.
And while we're getting set for the throw in, Heath Stoll, the center referee. Hassan Hindi is the AR1. Dennis Hoffbag, AR2. Fourth referee is Robert Williams for this match.
Takeaway there for Rada. Now Zaver trying to work it upfield. Zaver will dish it off left side back. Now they try to get a return, but it's broken up, and this one's offside.
Yeah, that was pretty obvious. About good 3 yards offside when that came.
Not a bad idea though for Edina. I mean, they were ready.
Oh, yeah.
They were ready when that turnover came, but Corleo just didn't wait quite enough.
And that's something we were hinting at before. Edina very adept at their transition from defense to offense to go on the counter.
Carter getting up for that header for the Hornets. And that one will roll out of play, so a throw coming here for Maple Grove and their fans. I'm not sure what that was all about. They were kind of overly excited there for a little turnover.
Yeah, they saw a
I missed
turnover.
something.
They saw a turnover. It's positive. Let's cheer for it.
Might have been one of their favorite classmates or something that was involved there. So get a free kick here for Edina, and Steckman will take it.
Boy, he gets it way downfield again.
And Robinson's going to be called for the foul as he gathered himself to go up. He shoved a little bit, and Swanda will get ready to boot this free kick.
Let's see if he's going to try and hook it to the left. He does. Gets it in there.
Ooh, and it'll
Wurns
come
right there.
all the way to Wurns. Nobody really got much of it, but it still was directed on net enough to be a little cause for concern there. But Wurns got down to it nicely.
Yep. Better players are capable of doing that, getting the ball out there and make it into a hook or for me, a slice, and do it on purpose. I do it. It just happens.
Sent to the front there, but that one denied. Zaver coming back to meet it here from Maple Grove. And we get a foul, yep. It just held him up enough that opportunity was taken away. Yeah,
right.
Good call. He was going to let it go, but then realized that had an impact on the play.
Right on. Exactly it. Good look there. Heath Stoll, center referee, calling it.
There
Yeah, here it is. And he goes, oh, yeah, it does. It
Yeah.
does impact it. Now I'm going to call it. Here's an opportunity.
Oh, it's off the goalpost
Oh,
there, and then
boy.
Steckman pounces on it. Crimson just about got one there. Andy Hicks. Wow, Maple Grove gonna remember that one as they generated their best chance of the night late. You see it
Look at
bounced
this.
over Peterson and then Hicks. Oh,
And it goes off the goalpost right to Steckman. Talk about luck. Look at that. He's out of position. It bounces right back to him and pounces on it. Yeah, we were talking just about exactly that. Watch out for the Crimson. They can come out of nowhere and mount an attack and make life miserable for you.
long free kick chance here. Ryan Swanda will line this one up. Putting it to the front, and there's Robinson once again winning that ball. Sent long ahead here, and Carter gets to it for the Hornets. So Maple Grove getting a great chance here later in this first half and nearly took the lead. Robinson puts it right back into play quickly here. Rata. And then a takeaway. Rata, though, sliding to get it back and then punched ahead by Jack Thurk for Edina. And this will go out of bounds off the Hornets. I think we've got a sub getting ready to come in for Maple Grove as bring in Keba Jana.
Now in for the Crimson, number 50, Keba Jana.
Looks like we are ready to go here as Maple Grove's Robinson will trigger it in. Will Swanda first to it for Edina. But the Crimson able to get possession back. Humphrey dishing it off left side. Hornets working hard. Ryan Swanda trying to force a turnover and almost did so. It'll be a throw though for Maple Grove.
And tried to get it in quickly, but they held up because they had to move back a few yards. And now we're ready for action.
Up the left sideline, Crimson looking to push the advantage a little bit here, but it's going to get out of play. We will get a throw for Edina. All things considered, pretty good first half for Maple
Yes.
Grove, and especially if that one had gone in a few moments ago, they'd be feeling really good about the half.
Boy, that would have been a gigantic boost. But I think even though it didn't go in, it gives them a lot of confidence that they know that they can match up with this Edina team.
And I think a lot of times that, high school age kids, they always have that confidence anyway. Even if we feel like, well, maybe they shouldn't, or based on the records, it doesn't look like they should. They kind of usually do anyway.
Yeah, that's the same classic story we had with Greg Laniger early in the season. He talked about the keeper change, and he said he doesn't know any better. But yeah, he does. He said that, hey, coach, I didn't let any goals in. I'm doing good.
Damon Humphrey sending it out front, and that one will bounce all the way through. It'll be a goal kick here for the Hornets. As we tick under 3 minutes to play in this opening half, no score on the board. Edina's had a little bit better of the chances. Maple Grove had one great chance that just went off the crossbar about 5 minutes ago. Or excuse me, off the goalpost on a header. Hornets had a couple of pretty good opportunities. One in particular that looked like it might be heading in on a free kick that Wentz was able to dive and save.
Yeah, I think on the other side, one you're talking about with Stuckman, it was a double good whammy because it hit the the post, and then it came right back into his hands. And there were some white shirts standing around waiting to take a shot, so pretty important plays.
Long throw in up the line here. Tried and throw the double team on Jana there, and it'll be a throw for Maple Grove. Miller will come running up to take it here. And they want this one to be a real threat. He's going to get a running start and try and send it deep into the box. Instead, it's a little short. High bouncer here, nearly overrun by a couple of different players there. There's Robinson, who had to hustle back as he was out front looking for a header.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Robinson will do that.
Correleo trying to beat the defender here, but pretty well played. Now the Hornets get it right back though. Dished out to the left. Mason dropping the pass down. Smythe chipping one, far post. Or excuse me, Jack Thurk. And then we'll go out of play. We will get a goal kick coming up here for Maple Grove as we are under a minute to play. Scoreless here in the Class AA quarterfinals at St. Cloud State. Maple Grove's in white, Edina's in green. Edina, the top seed at 19-0 coming in, but Maple Grove has hung with them pretty well. Early parts of the game looked a little dicey, but it's been much more even since.
Yeah, the first 7 minutes as we were watching, Edina was completely controlling the game, moving the ball at will where they wanted to. Then after that, it looked like the Crimson kind of settled in on defense. And Edina has not had too many good scoring chances since the early 7 or 8 minutes. They've been fighting for every shot they get.
7, 6, 5.
Down to the final 10 seconds of the half here as the Hornets not really going to be able to get anything more away. So have we reached the halfway point in this one. And it is a good matchup so far, as most of the state tournament games tend to be pretty close ones. Our score at halftime, Maple Grove nothing, Edina nothing. We'll have first half highlights and then our second half of soccer here on CCX.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly.
Lights out. Good night.
And put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Get it.
Get it. Get it.
Give your town a reason to celebrate, because every Goodwill item you bring home brings job training and more to your community. Goodwill, bring good home.
Welcome back here, St. Cloud State University. One of the sites for the AA Boys and Girls Soccer Tournament. Edina, the top seed, and Maple Grove tied at 0-0 at halftime of this quarterfinal round game here in the 2019 AA Tournament. Well, we've got a couple of girls teams that won their way into state in Class AA, and here's a look at Champlain Park against Stillwater in blue in the quarterfinals last night. And some good opportunities, and we see an injury. Megan Carlson of Champlain Park, maybe their best player, going down with an injury and had to leave in an ambulance. And you see Stillwater taking a 1-0 lead on the Rebels, but they're able to come back.
Yeah, 14 seconds later, they came back the other direction, made a beautiful shot to tie it up.
And ultimately, this one goes to a shootout, and not so bad. We see the other Carlson,
Lindsay, yes,
finishing things off with her sister in the hospital, able to get it done. It was kind of a nice, unique high school kind of moment there. Had her as the last shooter, and she finished off the 5-4 shootout win for the top-seeded Rebels. And their quarterfinal opponent is going to be another team from the area, Maple Grove girls, as they able to score and go ahead against Minnetonka on a beautiful header.
Yep, nice pass, good header. Here's a penalty kick. Right on the money, 2-0 lead. Minnetonka played well, but they gave up one too many goals, and they could not come back as the Crimson move on.
That was a little revenge for last year's state tournament loss to Minnetonka, and Minnetonka went on to win the title, so it'll be Maple Grove and Champlain Park Monday morning in the semifinals. And speaking of Maple Grove, here's the boys and how they got here against the Brainerd Warriors in Brainerd. I'm going to give a nod to Jason Malillo from our staff for making the journey up to Brainerd with the Crimson there. And you see the header goal by Robinson tying it up at 1-1, and then Xaver getting away a hard shot at stop, but Max Barty is there to follow it up and knock it home. And a 2-1 victory for Maple Grove, so they advance to their 7th state tournament with that win on the road at Brainerd. So a nice victory there, and they come into this AA tournament excited after that win. And you see how things are going so far in the other games as well. St. Paul Central.
Yay!
That's Sig's alma mater with a 2-1 lead on the number 2 seed Eastview. East Ridge and Lakeville South are tied at zeros at halftime, and the Washburn Centennial game coming up at Chisago Lakes tonight as well. So soccer, probably more so than many of the sports, you don't necessarily see seeds 1, 2, 3, 4 advancing into the semifinals, and we're seeing tonight the 2 seed trails, the 3 seeds tied, and the 1 seeds tied at halftime. So you don't really pencil anything in until it actually happens on the field.
Yeah, things may look good on paper, but paper doesn't win the game for you. You got to get out there and play. We've seen it in the first half with the Crimson standing up on defense, playing well, not giving Edina any shots after the first 10 minutes. And I get my plug in, go Minutemen.
All right, so Central leading Eastview. We'll see if that one can hold up. We'll take a timeout. We'll look at first half highlights from this one, and then we'll have our second half of soccer here at St. Cloud State on CCX.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Right along the shores of the Mississippi here in St. Cloud, we are at 0-0 as Maple Grove and Edina battle here in the AA Boys Soccer quarterfinals on CCX Sports. And take a look at some highlights from the first half. Obviously no goals, but we had a few that were not so far from that happening. Edina early on getting a corner kick, little header opportunity there, but didn't fully get to it and weren't able to grab it up. And then a shot here that he has to range over right for Maple Grove. A near miss here off the free kick as they try to get House on a header. Saw some nice takeaways for both teams too. Wow, look at that one, Damon Humphrey. That was a great, clean takeaway for the Crimson. And that one not as clean. That one resulted in a free kick for the Hornets, and they almost scored on it right there as they crossed him up on which guy was going to take that shot, and Wernz there. And then here's Xaver turning and getting away an attempt that goes just wide on the curving shot there for the Crimson. Then their best chance late here, this high bouncer, and the header by Hicks goes just off the goalpost there and then bounces right back to the keeper, Steckman. That was clearly far and away their best chance.
And the stats indicate also how close it is. Edina with 5 shots, most of those coming in the first 10, 12 minutes. 3 shots on goal, 6 fouls, and 4 corner kicks. For the Maple Grove Crimson, 3 shots, 2 on goal, 7 fouls, and no corners yet for the Crimson.
Well, we'll see how things shape up in half number 2 at 0-0 here at halftime. The Hornets and the Crimson. We'll be right back.
Not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma. I have a mentor, and she convinced me to continue my education. No one receives a diploma alone. If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Some great battles on the field in that first half. A couple of near misses, but ultimately we are at 0-0 heading into half number 2. Sig, we said the wind not as strong certainly as it's been for some of the playoff games, but you know, it still might be something that's a little bit of an issue too. We'll see if Edina kind of had it at their back in that first half, it seemed like.
Yeah, the Hornets had the favoring wind, but the winds died down quite a bit after the first half. Looking at the Crimson getting ready for their kickoff. And as the old cliche goes, boy, the longer you let the underdog team hang around, the more difficult it becomes. So the pressure might be on the Hornets in the second half.
Yeah, I would think a little bit that they, I think for the most part they probably like the way they played, but when you're still at 0-0, and it's kind of natural that it creeps into your head that, man, everything we've done this season, as much as we've accomplished, it could go away all in one half if they don't score enough goals to hold the Crimson off. So,
yeah. And if they didn't believe that, they can believe that header that hit the goalpost and just happened to come back to the keeper. I mean, that was you can't get any closer to losing the goal than that. So that's got to either wake them up or it's going to shake them up.
And I think Maple Grove it felt like anyway that their confidence kind of grew more and more as the half went on too, where they were, maybe caught off guard a little bit by Edina in the opening 10 minutes or so, but they started to play right with them for the rest of the half.
Yeah, I agree. I think what happened was they were just a little bit intimidated because they knew that the one team they did not want to get paired up with was this team. But, they haven't lost respect for Edina, but they're not afraid of them. And the other thing that they've done well is there's transition with Robinson primarily being the player who gets to kick the ball upfield again. And the offense has been pretty good about getting back in gear. Here we had Edina with a nice passing.
Prestis now on the move here for the Hornets. Tried to slide that one through a couple of players, and I believe it's going to be a goal kick here. I don't think it hit either defender, and apparently not. And it'll be Robinson getting set to take the goal kick here for the Crimson. He has been as good as advertised in that first half. We talked about him in the pregame, and he's been all over the place defensively. Gotten first touch on headers probably, 8 or 10 times, I'd say. Here's House, had that one jabbed away. Prestis was run over there. Teddy Miller got a little aggressive.
And he's going to get a lecture. Won't get a card, but he's going to get a lecture.
I don't want to jinx anything, but for the most part, a pretty clean first half, it felt like. I mean, not to say there weren't some hard tackles and all that, but I didn't see anything really chippy. No. Wern's out in traffic. Oh, and that one goes just wide. As he couldn't really come up with it, got one hand on it, and then a follow-up try. Did not miss by much. It was basically an open net to look at there. As you see this ball, he didn't get it the way he wanted to, and then just redirected wide. And, as close as Crimson were, Oscar Smythe is going to be seeing that one.
Yep.
It was very much like that header in the first half where you go, oh, whoa, that was a great chance. We almost had it.
Right. And I think Warrens was intending to punch it out, but instead he palmed it like a volleyball, and palmed it down into the ground.
Yeah, it didn't exactly go the direction he was hoping it to, and he didn't hit it very solidly. So we get a throw here for Edina. Now they're going to drop it back nicely here. Swanda chipping it to the front, and a header to clear that one. Hornets get it back though. Here's Swanda's attempt. It goes off the crossbar and then dropped back, and that one denied. Boy, Wernz was reaching up for that one, and he ran out of room to get to it, and it hit the crossbar right above him.
I think the Edina strategy for the second half is pretty clear. Take as many shots as you can.
Yeah, it feels like they are feeling a sense of urgency. Saying, not a lot of teams have hung with us even, through the first half like this. We got to get out and get after them. We need to be aggressive.
Yeah, and I'm sure Coach Jensen said exactly that at halftime. These guys are playing right with you. Don't make any mistakes. Wow, that was almost a fatal mistake.
Yeah, I was hesitant to tap that ball too hard back to the keeper. Instead, hit it too soft. And Steckman wisely came out and played it with the feet. So you get another look. Here's Swanda chipping when it goes off the defender and then off the crossbar. And then a little drop pass. But then you see there the little backward tap, and JT House was putting the pressure on. Yeah, you obviously don't want to kick that ball too hard and score into your own net. But at the same time, you didn't really get enough on it.
Yeah, that's kind of in between no man's land type thing. The keeper going, uh-oh.
And I suspect that the keeper probably, called for the ball.
Yep.
So it puts your defender in a little bit of a tough spot there too. He might, in second look, he might think about just turning to the outside with that ball, not taking any chances. But nice takeaway there as Humphrey got to it. Curving one up the middle toward House, and Steckman's going to come way out. Pass, though, intercepted. Crimson coming hard up the right side, and that'll be a foul. So a free kick coming for Maple Grove as France was tripped up. Another look at this right here as...
Yeah, he missed the ball and hit the leg. Easy call for center referee Stoll.
Humphrey lining it up.
Sends it in.
Oh, and here the pinball's around, and then the try goes high and wide. It is going to be a corner kick, though. It looks like a defender must have got a piece of that.
What an opportunity.
Wow. Steckman came out into the crowd and couldn't come up with it. Another look as it's bounces around off a couple of players, and then House's shot deflected.
It bounced right off the defender here, right there, number 12. And then easy shot. I think you saw big ball and big net and ended up with missing it.
Yeah, defender got a piece of it, though, so back out it comes. France puts on the brakes here. Gets a cross out near the top, and Steckman's going to come off his line as that ball volleyed to the front.
So that was probably the best offensive surge we've seen from the Crimson in this match.
Yeah, and it came not too long after Edina had a pretty good opportunity at the other end here. So these teams not content to sit back at 0-0 and wait for something to happen. They're trying to get after it.
Yeah, they're going to go after it. They're going to try and make something happen, make the play, make the goals come your way. It's a battle for the ball won by, for the moment, Edina.
Get a throw coming for the Crimson as they bring it back in quick, and we'll get another one.
Yeah, let's go back and do it one more time.
Booted high in the air there by Swanda. And a foul call there as Miller was knocked down. Teddy Miller, that is. Eddie Rosenthal, the guilty party.
Humphrey again, sizing things up. Sends it left footer right at Steckman.
Comes out and makes the catch in a little bit of traffic there. Steckman gets plenty on that one. Uh-oh, the header from Miller went away toward Corleo there for Edina, and then jabbed away from him by Rada. Going to be a throw for Maple Grove.
And they decide to go upfield, return, and send it forward.
Nice step up by Carter to win that one for the Hornets. Now they work it around toward Rosenthal. And boom, back the other way. Carter back to it with the header as he does battle with House. Carter then blocked that pass ahead. And it'll be a throw for Edina. We've got an injured player, Carter, for the Hornets.
That'll stop the clock. Coming off the field, substitution coming in. Carter, senior defender.
He's had a good match. Called his name a lot.
Yeah, he's hobbling off. Let's see where it happened. Oh, guess who we ran into? The tree.
Yeah, I think he might have taken that one a little south of the belt there.
Yeah. See if he can work that off.
Sent to the front, and a header cleared it briefly, but a follow-up possibility here for the Hornets. They'll bring it out wide to clear of the traffic. Prestis getting a step down low, and Crimson get to it first. They're going to end up sending it out. It'll be a throw-in for Edina.
That'll give the Crimson defense time to get reorganized. And they're dropping 9 players back, or I say 8 players back. See whoever gets it.
Sending it ahead toward House. Follow up there from Barty, but Hornets almost able to get that ball back. Instead, it'll be a throw, though, for Rada. Sent to the front, and that ball broken up.
Yeah, the only jersey bat there had green on it.
Turnover again as the Hornets send it upfield, but only Miller was there. Now Zaver driving it toward the corner, and it's going to be Steckman coming way out to play it.
And again, no other white jerseys down there, so not getting set up with their forwards too well.
Hornets looking to attack right up the middle, and that'll be a foul call against Edina. As Corleo ran him over a little bit there, and Charlie Miller able to get up.
A little bit of a charge.
Another look at this aggressive run with it. And I think the fact that he left his feet there kind of made that one a call that they could see a little easier to make. Knocked forward here, but it's going to be a goal kick, I believe, for Edina. Yes, it will. Well, remember to vote for our CCX Media Sports Jam Play of the Week brought to you by Chick-fil-A of Maple Grove. Each week we put 4 new candidates on our website at ccxmedia.org and then announce the winner Monday on our Sports Jam show. We thank Chick-fil-A of Maple Grove for sponsoring the Play of the Week. There's a look at Hicks, who nearly scored to give Maple Grove the lead in the first half. His header off the goalpost was their best chance of the half by far. Free kick coming here for Edina. We are still scoreless here, a little over 12 minutes into the second half. Top seed Edina, 19-0 coming in. Maple Grove giving them all they can handle so far. This one's going to bounce all the way in. Ooh, and there's Werns shielding the ball with his body there and went for a little tumble.
Yeah, a little bit of acrobatics.
Knocked forward here, Teddy Miller sending it up, but Rosenthal with the header. Edina is not, give Maple Grove credit. Edina has not been able to, connect on nearly as many passes as they were for a lot of the first half.
Yeah, the beginning of the match, they were passing the ball brilliantly. I think what's happened is Maple Grove has stepped up on their coverage. Another call against Edina.
Ott is called for tripping up Xaver, so we will get a free kick here for the Crimson.
And we'll see if they bring Robinson up. Yes, and they're bringing Xaver in also. They got 2 big guys standing on the 25-yard line. Here comes a soft shot.
To the front it comes. Now a follow-up opportunity here for the Crimson. Chip to the front there, and Steckman has to make a nice catch on that one. I think it was more of a pass than shot, but he had to be sure-handed, or that one might have been a chance for a backdoor header here.
Yeah. Edina with a good header on the defense, and then the ball brought back in for that shot.
Xaver will be called for a handball here. He tried to get it with his shoulder, but he missed and kind of knocked it down with the forearm a little more. So Hornets get a free kick out of this. Actually, center referee coming over for a quick discussion, just to make sure they saw what he saw there, I think.
We're going to have a little stoppage while the officials discuss it. And unfortunately, there's no microphone on the officials. Dave Jensen getting the message. He says, okay, got it. Greg looks a little confused.
Served long, high bouncer here, and it's a goal. Hornets on the board as Swanda will get to it. That was sort of similar to the one that Maple Grove had that they almost scored on, where it was kind of that in-between bounce.
Yep.
And the defenders and keeper caught a little bit. Swanda read it perfectly, gets there, header is in. It's 1-0 Hornets. Another look at this high bounce when the defender couldn't get there. Then it's Swanda in a race with Werns, and Swanda wins that race and scores it. So the Hornets will take a 1-0 lead here.
Perfect position, got behind the defense.
Chipped up high in the air here and controlled by the Hornets. Ooh. And we get a foul call there and a free kick upcoming.
Yeah, they got to be careful. That kind of a play can draw a card if you're not careful.
Sagan never ceases to amaze me. We haven't had a goal the whole game. There's finally a goal, and they haven't put it on the scoreboard yet.
Yeah,
At least a minute's ticked off. Now they finally
get it on there.
Supposed to be the state tournament beyond that. Smythe with the free kick here, and it's headed out of there. It's going to be a corner kick upcoming for Edina.
And for Edina, this is their first corner of the second half. They had 4 in the first half.
You know, I kind of thought at the time this might catch up to Maple Grove if it continues, because, you know, for any team, but especially one with some of the skill that Edina has, you don't want to keep handing them corners. Bounces right out front. Wow, that one went all the way through. Boy. As Wernz, I think, was a little bit unsure what to do with that one. It was a little bit of an unorthodox bouncer there, and it actually got all the way past him and past everyone.
I don't know how this ball got past everybody with nobody touching it. The Maple Grove players saying, no, I'm not touching this thing.
I think there was a little bit of a mix-up on communication there. If maybe Wernz called somebody off, but then didn't get to it himself. And then on the flip side of that, Edina's got to be thinking, goodness, all I would have had to do is, get a little piece of that. Here's a chance. Fournier the shot, and Steckman the save. Edina's defense having a little lapse there, and Fournier nearly made him pay. That was one of Maple Grove's better opportunities of the night right there, as he stepped by the defender. All of a sudden there's a little space, and he goes hard and low with the shot.
At that time, Edina made the same mistake that the Crimson defense made, but the Crimson defense cost him a goal.
Hornets on the move. Chip long up the middle. But things starting to open up a little bit more now. We've got an Edina player shaken up. Oh, this might be a cramp. The way that he went hobbling to the ground there, Rosenthal. He was reaching for that calf as he was going. I have to believe this one might possibly be a cramp.
Yeah, it is cool out there, and he's trying to work it off now. He's moving much better.
Surprised, though, that they didn't make him go out. Hicks lofting it high in the air. You kind of have the feeling that that goal has sort of made things open up a little bit. We've seen already a couple good chances right after that where there's more space a little bit. I think the teams have, I don't know, something's loosened up a little bit because of that goal going in, it feels like. Going to be a corner kick upcoming for the Hornets.
That time Robinson did not get a clean swipe at that ball, and that shanks off over the inline for a corner.
Releo getting set to take this corner here. Curving one high to the front. The header. Oh, and it looked like for a moment Wernz didn't see it. He had defenders in front of him.
He may have been screened on that one, and he saw the ball at the last second.
Yeah, it did look like it, didn't it?
Yeah, he's got all those players in front of him. He can't see where the ball is, and all of a sudden it comes bouncing right up to him.
Well, and Charlie Miller just barely got his hand out of the way in time there. That one might have been a penalty kick. Yeah, it kind of squeezed between two defenders, and that all of a sudden Wernz was like, oh, the ball's right on me here.
Yeah, oh, look what I found.
Headed high in the air by Robinson. Crimson will get it back briefly, but then Swanda with the takeaway. And here come the Hornets. Left-footed shot is going to roll just wide as Wernz came out. And be a corner kick here for Edina. As you see, the race is on here, and we'll see, is it? Oh yeah, no. He did get a piece of it, yeah.
Yep, there's a little bit of a deflection. So Edina again, great transition coming down that sideline, taking the shot on goal. Wernz right there to defend it.
Smythe with the corner here. He'll go low along the line, and didn't hit that one quite how we wanted to. So goal kick upcoming here for Maple Grove. Past the halfway point, or just about to the halfway point here of the second half. And a 1-0 lead for the Hornets as Will Swanda, their All-State and All-Metro pick, getting one in the 55th minute here on a header.
We have a clock differential here, but
Hornets get possession back. Coming out to the right side, rated back to defend. Werns comes out, and then he just able to reach out and grab it. Hornets coming right back on the attack. Yeah, you see Maple Grove not, they're moving some guys forward a little bit more now. It's going to probably mean a little more room for Edina too, but you got to be looking to attack when you trail it now.
Yeah, absolutely. So they got to have some real confidence on their defense and try and get kind of spring loose their offense and get an attack going.
Xaver with control here for Maple Grove. Chipping one long, and Steckman will have a nice high bounce to gather in. Eastridge now has scored and takes a lead on Lakeville South. Up the right side, Prestis crossing it. They weren't quite
not in sync on that one.
The depth wasn't quite where he was thinking, and then we get a push on the Hornets trying to get the ball back. So a free kick coming here from Maple Grove.
The center referee Stoll. Again, he's the center referee. Hassan Hindi is AR1. Dennis Hoffbeck, AR2. Robert Williams is the fourth referee. I mean, they've had to call a few fouls, but not that many. Nothing vagrant or blatant, I should say.
Nice takeaway there.
Oh, that was a pretty takeaway. Just stood his ground and poked the ball loose.
Hornets kind of looking like they did early in the game now, where they're connecting passes with a little more crispness here. Werns overran it, ball is loose, and it'll be goal number 2 for the Hornets.
There's a mistake on the defense, and Hornets take advantage of it and bury it in the back of the goal.
Corleo is going to get it, as Werns came out for that one and kind of misjudged it, it looked like, or overran it just a little bit. And this time, unlike the one earlier, this one bounced into a more advantageous spot for Edina to follow up and put it away.
Here you see the kick coming in. Not only didn't he get it or punch it out, he scooped it backwards.
Yeah, it looked like it might have hit his teammate's shoulder there, I think. Oh, no, actually went off the Edina player, off the head of Jack Thurk there, and then follow up by Corleo, able to bury it. And so now a 2-0 lead for Edina. Well, that makes the task
huge,
that much tougher, right? I mean, only a little under 17 minutes to go. Not that Maple Grove hasn't had a couple chances, but they're going to need to get one fairly soon here if they're going to have a chance, I think, to come back down the stretch.
Yeah, I agree. They're going to have to get a goal quickly so they can get back into the game. 2 mistakes on the defense, and that's kind of uncharacteristic of.
There's a long but decent shot, and Werns diving over to his left to grab that one. Battle for it in the air, and Xaver knocked it ahead, but then boomed out of there. Sent up the sideline here. Robinson chasing after it. Does a nice job to keep that ball in play up the line. Well, we talked a little bit about maybe some of the pressure would be on Edina, but it kind of looks like they've used it in a good way, that they've had some urgency in the second half. And
yeah, right, that's what we're talking about. At the beginning of the second half, you could see there was a whole lot of more motivation on the Edina team. And like I said, it would probably got a talking from their coach saying, if you get the ball anywhere close, take a shot, make something happen. And that's exactly what they did. They've been being aggressive and getting some opportunity off some defensive mistakes and making them pay for it.
Hustle there by Carter Sheard.
That'll be against Maple Grove. He ran over the player.
The league is hiring officials in all sports at every level of competition. Go to mshsl.org to find out how you can become a high school sports official. The team's counting on you.
Miller tracking it down here for the Crimson, getting it over there to Jenna. Marti's pass was blocked. Sheared trying to go up the line, but that one was deflected. Marti had it knocked away. Miller giving it to Jenna. Now trying to go to Charlie Miller, but that one going to be broken up.
Yeah, you can see him coming up.
Corleo then knocked off the ball there by Robinson. Edina fans wanted a call, didn't get it.
Curley did a great job that time reading where the pass was coming, and the pass wasn't quite as crisp as it could have been, and was able to make the takeaway.
Hornets gain possession and then send it up. Teddy Miller and to get back and keep it under control. Pretty good effort the other way as well, though. Yeah, let's see. This would be a corner, is it? Or
Edina throw in.
Yeah, you're right. Throw down the corner.
Watch this tackle. Beautiful. Gets all ball. That's right out of the textbook. Nice play by Robinson. There's number 8. A throw coming in.
And this will be a goal kick upcoming as that header went wide of the mark. But if you're Edina, you're thinking we're chewing up more and more time here and have a 2-0 lead as it is.
Now with 13 minutes to go in the match and getting to the warmer confines of the stadium.
Robinson will boot it up here for Maple Grove. Teddy Miller sending it up the middle, but that one is broken up and taken. Tried to send it to the outside there, but behind its intended target, so the Crimson try and quickly take advantage. Gavin Peterson lost it there, though, to Ott. And now the Hornets send it long up the left side. Big battle for the ball here. And Rada does a nice job of shielding off, and he'll get a throw in for his team. That second goal, though, I think really
took the sail out.
Yeah, it feels like it a little bit. I mean, Maple Grove right now, it's just like everything they're trying to do isn't quite working or not working enough to really feel like they're going to have a chance to get back in it. But you never know. They still got a little bit of time.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. If they can get a score and cut the lead in half, that'll give them a lot of motivation and pick them up a little bit. Right now, they're almost in slow motion. The passes aren't quite there, and Edina's right there to pick it up.
And a foul call initially, and then
we're gonna have a talking session or a card.
Xavier and Rosenthal were both
Yeah.
Or
that's Swanda. We're going to have a little lecture on sportsmanship between the two players. I don't think there's going to be any cards on this. But I get the sense that there's a stern warning. One more of those and you could get a red. You see the aftermath. Here it is.
Yeah,
he shoves him there.
Ooh.
Swana comes up, says something to him, and gets a shove. Yeah, that was not a deliberate push. The second one is a deliberate push, and that's when referee Still wisely comes in and reminds him that you don't want to get a red card because you won't be playing the next game. There he is. Good officiating. Look there at Xavier. Like I said, when you get bumped by him, you're going to feel it.
Now Jenna controlling here for the Crimson. Peterson chipping it toward the middle. Boom back into Maple Grove zone. Robinson with the header, but it's recovered by the Hornets.
And Edina gets their players in position, and now they come in.
Ball's going to get a little too far out front, though. A goal kick upcoming. But again, those are the type of plays that, you know, when you're the team with the lead, you don't really mind. I mean, yeah,
right.
I'd rather get the ball and get it set up, but still it's eating up time when you get it all the way down the field and it goes out for a goal kick.
And I like the way they did that. They kept the ball back, waited for the forwards to get in position, and then make their move. Nice patience. There, we're getting a little chippy now.
Yeah, you can see there's a little bit of frustration, and then, you know, you kind of go back and forth at each other a little bit. Well, and I think, you know, to a certain extent, the is this ball chipped high in there? The play with Xavier and Swanda, I have to say, to a certain extent, the layout of the stadium, I think, contributed to that, because on a normal field, Swanda wouldn't have landed on concrete.
Right.
But through the sideline on this side, it kind of was made more for football, and
right.
So the stands are quite close to the touch line there, and that, you know, made it, I think, seem a little worse because of the fact that he went sprawling over all the way to the wall there.
Right, yeah, he kind of bounced off the wall, so he was not too happy about that. Plus the contact coming from Xavier. Here's a move on the outside. Edina picks that off and sends it right back out.
And then just boomed out of there long. Not going to take any chances at this point. When they get an opportunity, they're just going to work it all the way down. Werns will get a return pass here. Oh, and then nearly a giveaway there. It was a giveaway, but thought it might lead directly to a shot for a moment there. Now we get a trip called against the Crimson as Prestis went down. We will get a free kick coming up here for Edina. Boy, I'm sure, you know, if we stay like this at 2-0, I think, you know, a lot of the fans maybe from the other teams or whatnot say, go look at it and say, oh, okay, Edina, they kind of moved on without too much trouble. But the game didn't have that feel.
It did not have that feel. Those two goals were accomplished because the Crimson defense gave it to them. They got behind them and then once made a mistake.
And here's goal number 3 off a clean header, as it's put home by Henry Rose. And now the Hornets have really stretched it out to 3-0.
Yeah, that may be the proverbial nail. 7.5 minutes to go in the match. 3-0 is a huge deficit. Here's the nice ball coming in. Perfect header right into the open part of the net. Here it is again.
And
no way.
See, the defenders kind of got pulled up a little too high there and let somebody, in this case Rose, but there was even another Edina player, I think it was Ott, that was in pretty good position there as well.
Right, they had 2 Edina players, and as you said, the defenders were up about 4 or 5 yards away from the end line. Maybe they weren't anticipating the ball coming that far forward, but Edina will absolutely take the gift. There's almost a miscue.
Teddy Miller stepped on the ball, but he had enough room to get back to it, but then his pass is intercepted. Tried to play it out to the corner. It's deflected right back. Then the pass dropped off, and that one I think was deflected. It might be maybe not. Looks like it'll just be a goal kick. I thought perhaps a defender had gotten a little piece of that one, but they say no. So goal kick coming for the Crimson. Under 6.5 to play now, and Edina is going to win this one as they have scored 3 goals here in the second half.
You can see the look on Robinson, not happy with the current state of affairs.
Yeah, this one feels like it kind of got away in a hurry, didn't it?
Yes,
I mean, it was 0-0 through half, and Maple Grove was hanging in, but Edina kind of showing why they have won every game this year, right?
Yep. Right at about the 25-minute mark of left to go is when Edina just kind of turned the crank up, and Crimson made it one defense and couldn't really recover from it. Then they made 2 more. But Edina showing why they have the record that they have. Constantly aggressive, still passing the ball around, moving things back and forth. Here they are again, setting up.
And remember, too, they got, not a lot of chances for Maple Grove, but they got a nice save or 2 from Steckman, and they had also one go off the goalpost, too. So, you kind of add the whole piece together, and Edina has done, even when they had, stretches when they weren't playing as well or not dominating the play, they still kept the ball out of their net, too, which, obviously you're gonna win a lot of games if the other team isn't able to beat you and score.
That's true.
Free kick coming for the Hornets.
It's a 15th foul called on Maple Grove for the match.
Edina won 3 titles in a row, 99, 2000, 2001, but then haven't won since then. And they'll be into the semifinals after this victory here.
Yeah, but I think they are clearly going to be in the driver's seat for the rest of the tournament.
And here's goal number 4. Another one coming off a set play as they get the header to go. And Ott will get it for the Hornets. The floodgates have opened. Wow.
I think Maple Grove is just hanging their heads down. Well, they're getting killed on these set plays. I think right now Maple Grove would love to just put one in for the glory of it. But we spent the last several minutes down in their own zone. It's tough to score when you're back on your heels on defense.
And we talked about it after it got to be 1-0 that the game opened up more.
Yes.
And that hasn't been in Maple Grove's favor, but I think it was something that, like we said, you had to do. You don't stay to try and protect only a 1-goal loss. You try and get something going offensively yourself, and instead it kind of turned out the other way, but
42 yards out, right at Steckman.
Ooh, Zaver's free kick, and Steckman sacrificing his body there, coming out into a crowd and making the sure-handed catch for the Hornets. And the length of the high school season in Minnesota, to reach 20 wins is pretty rare, and that's what Edina will be at now with a chance to add 2 more. you just don't figure in the, playing in the Lake Conference and the non-conference schedule they have, you just don't expect to go undefeated no matter how good of a team you have. But this year they've been able to do it.
Good look there at Dave Jensen. He's still coaching. It doesn't matter what the score is. He's upset about something.
Yeah, the one team in the regular season, I shouldn't say one, they had definitely a few close games. But Minnetonka gave them a couple of 3-2 games, and then they beat them in their section final in 2AA 2-0. So coming back a third opportunity with the Skippers and able to get it done against them. So, and Washburn gave them a real good game early in the season as well. So the Hornets, it isn't like they haven't been tested for sure, but they've just been solid night in and night out, and they're showing down the stretch why they have the record they do.
Yeah, maintaining their poise, passing the ball, taking some shots when you have the opportunity. We have a stoppage. There may be a cut or something on that player that referee saw and decided to get him out of the game.
Throw in for the Crimson. Now Edina throw down the sideline here, and they'll be headed out of play. Another throw upcoming for the Hornets as we're down under a minute and a half to go in this one. Edina pulling away big time, leading it now 4-0. Prestus, a nice little move there. We'll drop it back out. Nicely taken away though. And boom, long up the sideline. A lot of subs in there now for both teams down the stretch, getting some guys a chance to play in a state tournament game.
Yeah, I think we know what the final outcome's going to be. So might as well get some players in there.
Yeah, really both ways. You get some guys a chance to, they've worked hard all year and been a part of your success too in getting here. So for both teams, getting some guys out there to get some minutes in late.
And for Maple Grove, as we were talking about, they have a tremendous JV companion teams. They have two of them actually that are bringing up some quality players, so their future is looking pretty bright.
Under 10 seconds to go. Edina maybe take just one more throw in here, and we are going to tick down to zeros, and it was close for a long time. Maple Grove was giving Edina a good battle, but then the Hornets just explode down the stretch. They got that 1-goal lead and then tacked on 3 more after that, and they moved to 20-0 on the season and move into the semifinals as be indoors the rest of the way at US Bank Stadium. So congratulations to the Hornets as they move on and continue a fantastic season. Congratulations to Maple Grove. Getting to the state tournament's no small thing. They played well for the first half and partway into the second, but boy, Edina just converted on some chances down the stretch.
Yeah, I like we were saying, I think after that first goal, things kind of let down a little bit. They were a little bit off keel, and Edina didn't. They were on target, pressed it, and were able to come away with the victory.
So I hope you've enjoyed this one tonight, our final boys soccer telecast of the year, as Maple Grove falls to Edina, the top seed. 4 second-half goals for the Hornets as they pull away for the 4-0 win. For Sig Ligary and all of our CCX Sports crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Good night from St. Cloud State.